Chapter 10, Workplace Policies. As an employee, you are required to behave appropriately at work. This section applies to everyone at our company, including employees, contractors, interns, vendors, stakeholders. Okay, the policy herein help us to build a productive, lawful, and a present workplace. The workplace policies is basically these are accepted norms and behaviors on how we should behave at our workplace. Okay, in hearing, the workplace can mean like at our campus, that is our main stores and offices. It can also mean outside, because we as an event planning company, we will work outside a lot. We call it the field. The field. Okay, when we go to a client's place, when we are working there, how we should conduct ourselves is very important. Okay, so what is a code of conduct? Okay, a code of conduct is how employees or people should behave at an organization. All right, so at Jollof Events, we have our general code of conduct or behavior. It includes respect. Everybody knows that respect is a universal value. Okay, so treat people well, be fair and polite to everyone, including your co-workers. When you are at the workplace, okay, respect your co-workers. Okay, respect the customers. Customers sometimes, they are stressed out during events, and especially when they are calling, where are you, blah blah. So that's the time we show empathy, and know that and know how they are feeling. Okay, so do not always judge people. Sometimes you have to be aware of their current state. So respect people. When another driver cuts you on the road, don't just insult them, and start a road rage among others. So respect is very important. Okay, integrity and honesty, another universal value. Okay, everybody is expected to tell the truth, be ethical, avoid wrongdoing to the best of your ability. Right, so do the right things always. Okay, do not for example, if a customer calls you, where are you, don't tell them like, Tabakoto, when you are at Westfield, always tell them the truth. Okay, tell the company the truth. Okay, tell everyone the truth, do the right thing. Okay, do what is right. Compliance. What is compliance? Compliance means abiding by a law. Okay, you should be compliant with the laws of the company, especially what is in this handbook. You should be compliant with the laws of our communities, the laws of the country. Okay, we are supposed to put seat belts, helmets. We are supposed to respect everything in this car, in the employee handbook, our values. No littering, camera media centrism, all this stuff. Comply. Okay, be law abiding, observe the rules and regulations. Okay, when it comes to compliance, the ladies, they are very good. We have very good people, who comply with our rules, and people like Binta currently. So everybody should be complying. Okay, it's only the problem we have is the boys, us. We barely comply. Okay, and lack of compliance at Jollof events will lead to your termination. So be careful of that. When Jollof events say do this, you have to respect it. If you know that you cannot do what Jollof events tell you, you can resign, go and work elsewhere. Okay, but you have to comply with our rules and regulations. Number 4, personal appearance. Okay, personal appearance and hygiene. Be clean, groom yourself, dress well. You are not only representing yourself, but you are representing the company. Wherever you are, make sure that you are well dressed. Don't dress like a homeless person, because they will say, hey, look at Jollof Events, their staff or their employees, look at how they are dressing up. Okay, not only that, your personal hygiene. Okay, make sure you brush your mouth well. Okay, use mouth washers or cleaners. Your armpit. You are living with people. You are staying with people around you. So you should not only consider yourself, but also consider the people around you. If you are stinky and you are sitting with a bunch of people, you'll be causing unease in that place. Okay, when somebody admonishes you, that means that when they tell you that your mouth stink or your armpits are like are emanating some odor, don't hate them for that. Okay, it's only someone who cares about you that will even tell you about those things. Other people, they will not even care. They will just leave you like that. Okay. So your personal appearance and hygiene is very important. Okay. When you are make sure you dress well. We have t-shirts. Okay. You can be dressing up in our t-shirts. Don't just look rough and all. We don't allow you to do that at Jollof events. Okay. We don't expect you to dress like like we are going to a party, but just don't also dress like a homeless person. Okay. We also expect you to to keep your personal hygiene well. Like brush your teeth well when you are talking to people, so that where nothing, no other comes out of your mouth and disrupt the place. Protection of company property. Protection of company property herein means, like, you should treat the company's facilities and properties with absolute care. Remember, in our core values, ownership, treat Jollof event as though it is yours. Okay? Treat our phones, our facilities, our premises, for me, for example, when I am driving our vehicles, it's like I'm driving a limousine, I make sure, I avoid potholes, and it's like I protect everything, for the company. Okay, and I expect you to do the same. Okay, treat whatever you like, make sure you don't leave the fans on, you don't like break things, using things inappropriately. Okay, just because of you do not buy them, that doesn't mean that you should not treat them anyhow. It's very important. Okay, you know that we may terminate or take disciplinary action against employees who repeatedly or intentionally fail to follow our code of conduct, okay, and workplace policies. Next, we have complaints and conflict resolution. Okay, so anywhere you have many people, we cannot avoid conflict. Conflict can arise between employees among each other, or it can arise between the employee and the company. So it is very important that we think about this, and thank God we have come up with a complaint and conflict resolution policy. All right. So in life, even they say, even the teeth and the tongue, they are living together, but sometimes they get into conflict. Somebody bites somebody, although it is the teeth that does all the biting. But that's life. People will always argue. Even husband and wife, sometimes they quarrel. But that does not mean that they cannot live together. All right. This policy aims to address complaints and conflicts among our staff members. All right. Employee complaints are complaints such as discrimination, harassment, unfair treatment against the company or any person associated with the company. All right. Anytime you experience discrimination, harassment, or anything else, you can report. Okay. You can report through a complaint. We have a report for anyone who has a complaint or observe any violation. Even if you observe somebody doing things that are in violation of our workplace policies, you can report them. Okay, so anyone who has a complaint or observe any violation of our workplace policies can formally report it to the CEO or any other designated person through our employee complaint form. We have an employee complaint form. Okay, the company will not consider. The company will not consider any complaint that is not channeled through the form. Okay, you cannot just come and come to me or any other person and start complaining. First of all, I might be busy on something else. If you come and complain to me, you are taking away my time, and you're also taking other people's, and also that is not formal, and I cannot capture your complaint. It cannot be captured in my brain. So there should be like evidence. Evidence meaning that you have written it down. Okay. So you have to write a form when you are complaining against the company or against your co-workers or against anybody else. Okay, so we'll talk about the form later, but just know that you have to write it through the employee complaint form, which is available everywhere. Make sure to report only serious complaints as well, those that negatively affect you, your work, the company, or the community. All right, don't just anything that happens, you bring the complaint, you go to the complaint form. And you sometimes, when you have an issue with someone, resolve it with them amicably, rather than always resorting to complaints. We encourage our employees to act respectfully and to amicably settle their differences before resorting to the complaint form. This is what I just talked about. Okay. Number 5, note that when there is a conflict between employees, okay, the company will automatically be on the side of the leader unless proven guilty. A leader hearing shall be in the following order: that is seniority of position, length of service, or competence. Okay, whenever two people have issue in the company here, Jollof Events, the company will take the side of the leader. Okay, who is a leader? Someone who, let's say, if the marketing manager has an issue with the communications officer, so the Jollof Events will be on the side of the marketing manager because the marketing manager is senior to the communications officer. All right, just know that it is very important. Or when like two sales people have an issue, okay, so like they are both in the same position, but we will look at who is at Jollof Events the longest, okay, who have served Jollof Events, or who is more competent, okay, or who is older. In life, even in real life situation, right? When you find an elderly person arguing with a younger person, people will support the elders. They will tell the young, you don't respect your elders, blah blah. So at Jollof Event, it does not necessarily mean that we consider age that much. Okay, like if for example the marketing manager is way younger than the communication officer, we will take the marketing manager because the marketing manager has a senior position. We will consider age, but when we have already considered position, length of service, competence, and then we will consider age. Okay. All complaints must be reported immediately. The company shall as well address the issue within the shortest possible time. So here, when you have an issue with somebody or something, report it immediately. Don't wait until 1 year later or months later and say, somebody did this to me, to that. Like, just report that case immediately. And the company is also expected to address the issue immediately. The companies will not be waiting for a lot of months or sweeping the matter under the carpet. So that should not be happening. Number 7, an employee who brings a complaint under this policy shall not be retaliated against in any manner. Anyone who retaliates against an employee for making a complaint under this policy will face disciplinary action, including termination of employment. When somebody makes a complaint about on you, okay, do not retaliate against them, okay? Or even the company should not retaliate against the person when the person makes a complaint, okay? If you are found guilty of retaliating against somebody just because of they made a complaint on you, you will be punished, okay? You can be sacked. You can be sacked for that, okay? Just know that, okay? When somebody reports you, just accept it with good faith and accept the resolution that comes out of it. Okay, the company shall thoroughly investigate. Number 8, the company shall thoroughly investigate all complaints and make fair judgments without fear or favor. Okay, if you are not satisfied with how the company handled your complaint, you can make an appeal. When you send a complaint form and the company comes up with something else, you can appeal. You can send another complaint telling them you are not satisfied with the answer or the action that the company takes. If you can even go up to a point of engaging a lawyer or the labor department. You can go to the labor department and say, at my workplace I had this issue and it wasn't addressed, and so on and so forth. Okay, let's go and talk about the complaint form. Okay, this is the complaint form. It is available everywhere in the company. You just grab it anytime you want to make any complaint, even feedback. Sometimes you can even use it to make a feedback. Okay, so what you do, you write your name here, your employee ID. So the accused person, are you accusing your co-workers? You can write their name and their employee IDs. Everyone's employee IDs is available. You can know everybody's employee IDs everywhere, especially during with our payroll. You see some people, you see employees IDs there. Okay, if it is more than one, if it's more than 2 people, you can write and add a plus sign there. Okay, or you can indicate all the people involved. If it's one person, is it 2 people, like include their names and their ID numbers here. If it is a company, just write there, it's Jollof Events that I'm accusing. Okay. So here, the date of the incident. Okay, when did the incident occur? Okay, if it occurred last week, this week, just write the exact date. Provide specific details of the. Here's where you put all the details of the complaint. Okay. Somebody did this to me, blah blah blah, or what happened, explain. This is where you explain what happened, what transpired. Okay, so is this the first time you have raised this issue? So sometimes you can be raising, if it's yes the first time, just click yes. If it is no, put there how many times. Okay. Okay, have you ever taken any action previously to address this situation? You can write here. Perhaps you have talked to them so that you can amicably solve the situation, and it did not materialize, it wasn't fruitful. So all those things, then you can indicate that you have taken a previous action, but nothing came out of it. Okay, do you have any sometimes you can have witness, you were like when somebody was insulting you, or when somebody was harassing you, maybe another person was there to witness you. You can put who is your witness. Or sometimes you can have, like, our workplace is full of cameras everywhere. So right now I can be sitting down here and I know what's going on at the company. So you can instruct the company to make a replay of what's happening. Okay, you can like if you look at here, so I can see many channels. So you see this is different angles. Okay, like you see it's loading and it will see it live. So there are cameras everywhere at Jollof event. So whatever you do, know that some people are watching you. Okay, so that is like you can have physical, or if somebody hit you, if they like break your nose, you can come with a broken nose. You can snap your broken nose and say, somebody hit me, and you see, or they cause marks on my body. And anything, is there any physical or digital documentary evidence to support your complaint? Okay, what is your desired outcome? What do you want to come out of this complaint? Okay, do you want somebody to be sacked? Do you want an issue to be resolved? Okay, like, do you want your salary to be increased? Whatever you want to be the results of your complaint, you can indicate it here. And all this fine. Sometimes if you don't have anything to say in this, like, some you might not feel, some if you cannot feel it, just leave it like that. Some, but we are encouraged to feel everything here. And not only that, not everybody can read and write. So if you cannot read and write, you can take it home. Somebody can help you, or you can even tell your co-worker to help you. Some people, they cannot write, so somebody can help them. All right, so declaration, this is where you write your name. So this is the date that you are submitting the form, not the date that the incident occurred. And you sign here, and you give it to the supervisor. If it's received by me, I will say received by Mukhtar Jallo. I will sign. I write the date that I received it. So, but that's basically the employee complaint form. All right, so we move on to conflict of interest. Conflict of interest occurs when your personal interest comes in contradiction with the interest of the company. Okay, we all have personal interests. Okay, so and those personal interests might collide with the interests of the company. So you must always act. Number one, you must always act in the best interest of the company. Always, at least while you are working for the company. Okay, the best interest of the company. All right. During your period of employment, you shall not engage in any work or activity for yourself or for another employer that directly or indirectly competes with the company. Okay. That means that while you are an employee of Jollof Events, you should not work for yourself or for any other competitor. Okay. Anybody who does a competing service that we do, you should not work for anybody else. Even during your weekends, your holidays, when you are after work, you cannot do that. Just like if you are like if you sign a contract in the football, like you cannot sign for Chelsea and say, while Chelsea is out of the Champions League, I can go and play for PSG or another team. No, it does not work like that. So if you sign for a team, you play only for that team and probably your national team until your contract is finished with them, and then you can go and play for another team. Okay, so the same thing here at Jollof Events. You cannot say, okay, after work, I will go and do my own, like, even rubber stuff. I can go and rent chair covers and go and fix it for other people, or I can go and decorate for other people during my off time or during after work. You don't do that. We will not accept you to do anything that competes, because we see that as a conspiracy to undermine the strength of the company. Okay, when you are working at Jollof event and you are thinking about, after work I'm going to do this so decoration, it will lead to a lot of things, taking our stuff and going to do your own stuff, like, sabotaging our, like, and the bottom line is, you cannot do anything related to event planning while you are working for Jollof events. Okay, so when you feel like, now you want to have more income, or you know the job, you want to start on your own, you want to do your own thing, okay, just come and resign. Okay, have a good relationship with the company. If you resign, the company can work with you. Sometimes when the company needs certain types of contractors, they can hire you. You can also hire. But when you just hide, and the company find out you will not be in a good relationship with the company, even after you leave the company, you'll be blacklisted. Okay, all right. So this is very important to note. If you are found guilty of engaging in any competing business or activity for personal gain, whether during working hours or not, you shall be terminated immediately. Okay. I don't mind you, for example, we don't mind you to have another job. You can be selling like biscuits, or you can go and work at a restaurant. You can do a lot of other things, but they don't have to be competing with what Jollof Events does. Okay, they don't have to be in the same category of business as Jollof Events, let's say, which is primarily event planning. Okay, you can work, people need, sometimes you can have three types of jobs, but I'm just telling you, you cannot work at an event planning related stuff, either for yourself or for another person. Okay. So personal events, so we all have personal events. Sometimes it is our own event, sometimes it is the event of a family, or it is the event of a friend, or it is the event of a neighbor. So this policy here talks about how we deal with personal events. Okay. Every employee and shareholder is entitled to a personal discount of all Jollof Events equipment, subject to the following terms. All right. 80% discount when the event is directly for the employee or shareholder. Okay, when it is like the event is for the directly, let's say, like if I am getting married, all right, if I'm marrying, so for example, my own event, I pay only 20%. The 80% is discounted. Okay, it's not like free. We don't give anything free here, like, nothing free. You pay that 20%. All right. 50% discount for immediate family members. Okay, if your brother has an event, if your sister has an event, like, let is spouse, parents, children, siblings, grandparents, and grandchildren, they are your immediate family members. Nothing like cousins, okay, aunts, friends, neighbors. Your immediate family members is what I'm talking about. When they have an event, you can get a family discount for them. Okay, not that you are going to, if sometimes maybe you can be paying it for yourself, but they will have to pay it. They will have to be the ones to pay it. Sometimes you can take money from your family and then come to Jollof events. You might tell them it's the full price, and then you come and only pay us. No, we will make sure that it is the person who pays us, and it is the person who we gave the receipt to. And also, don't just come and tell us this person, we are spouse, they are my spouse, when they are not. Okay, the company will investigate to find out they are your real immediate family members. Okay. The discount is also limited to only 2 events a year and shall not exceed $20,000. Okay, all this, like your immediate family members and yourself. Let's say me, I can marry like 3 people in the same year. Okay, so imagine like if or let's say I married twice, or not only marriage. Okay, birthday. Let's say I married this year, and I do a birthday celebration, and also I just throw in like a house party. All right, so probably the only the marriage and the house party probably will be I will enjoy 80% discount for those things. Okay, but the birthday I will not, because I've already exhausted the 2 events limit, and they also must not pass $20,000. Okay, each. Let's say if my marriage costs like 50,000. Okay, and I will only have discount on the 20,000. The rest of the 30,000 I pay the normal Jollof event prices. So it's very important because normally when people see you like doing events, they will say, hey, come and do it, help me do it, and you people you do it, so I expect discount, blah 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 blah. Okay, it does not work like that. Okay, so when staff have events, okay, if it's for them directly, they pay 80%. If it's for their immediate family members, I mean not cousins, not neighbors, not friends, you pay 50%. But apart from that, everybody pays normal prices. Okay. Also note that apart from the employee and immediate family members, everyone else is charged normal price. Even if the employee or shareholder is paid, sometimes you are going to say, okay, this is my cousin, I'm paying for them. So, even if you are the one paying it from your own pocket, as long as it is not your event or the event of your immediate family member, then you will not enjoy any discount. Those people have to pay the normal price, right? Okay, Jollof events, we normally give out bonuses and waivers. Sometimes waivers mean, not like, for example, if you take like 100 covered banquet chairs, and also you took the premium wedding decor as well. We are supposed to charge you labor fee for the chairs, but sometimes we can say, since you took another decoration, we will not charge you labor fee. So those are called waivers. Bonuses is like when somebody takes like, let's say, a classic backdrop with pool sofa, or so we might add a red carpet for them as a bonus. Or when you take a tent, we might add lights for there. Sometimes that is, sometimes we give bonus if it does not affect our logistics and also our booking system. We give bonus. But don't say that, this is my family member, I'm going to give them like lot of bonus such that it will affect our movement, and that is not even reasonable. So bonuses and waivers of Jollof events equipment given to friends and family members must be reasonable and in accordance with our general bonus policies. Okay, you must give reasonable bonuses to your friends and family. If you are, that's mostly for salespeople, because salespeople are the one allocating resources as well. Or if you are like the facilities person, you just throw in like certain stuff they are just because of they are your friends and family. So you need to be aware of that. Employees and shareholders can freely order our suppliers or competitors for personal products for personal purposes. Here is very important as well. For us, like even me personally, when we have an event at our house, I will not order Jollof events items. We have some people who are renting items, chairs close to our house. We just go there and rent those items, all right, and bring it at our house. So you can freely order our competitor stuff, but not for what? Personal profit, not to profit from it. All right. Okay. So you are free to order our. Sometimes we might be booked out, so you cannot have our items, or you cannot book it for your family or friends or people close to you. All right. You can go to other our competitors. Some people who do the same thing and book it for them. Or sometimes our prices might not meet our budget. Okay, our pricing. So your budget might not meet our pricing. So you go to our competitors, or whoever provides a cheaper price. You can go to them and take it from them. Okay, but not that for example, if your friend has an event, you take the money. If they give you $100, you take the money and go to our competitors and book it for, let's say, 75 and pocket the 20. That if you find you doing that, you will be guilty of doing that. You will be terminated. Okay, because we have had so many salespeople in the past, they will do such thing and they will say, this is my friend, that's why I book for, but with the intention of pocketing the difference. Okay, like that means that you are diverting business from Jollof events to our competitor just for your personal interest, so that you can pocket the difference. Anytime you are found doing that, you will be terminated straight away. The only time you are allowed to rent from our competitors and others is when you are doing it just because probably you want to meet the budget for your friend or family member or whoever, or for yourself, or Jollof events does not have the items. All right. So it's very important to note, anyone who books any item from our suppliers or competitors for personal monetary gain will be terminated. Okay, we will not tolerate that thing. All right. Confidentiality. Okay, you may have access to Jollof events confidential information. Such information should only be used for its intended purpose and should not be divulged or used in any way that may be against the best interest of the company, either during or after your workplace. So here, number one, it says that you may have access to our trade secrets, important documents, our IP, intellectual property, or certain stuff. So you should not divulge. Means that you should not tell it to another person, or send it to another person, or use it against the company, okay, or use it like when you are out of the company. Sometimes when you leave the company, you might have access to certain info such as our contact database and all this stuff. Probably you start your own event planning company, you start using our own database that we own. We will provide we will act against you. How do I say it? We will mount legal charges against you if you do that, okay? Or if you sell our data to another person, note that you will also be terminated when you find out that you are using our data for something else other than our normal business purposes, okay? Your personal information, number two here, your personal information is held by the company with utmost confidentiality and shall be used only for work related. If you find out that the company is using your personal data for something else other than work related purposes, you can complain to the company. You can even like mount legal charges against us, okay? Number three, you shall not share to outsiders any personal information related to your co-workers or use it against them. Remember, we are an open company, so most of the personal information of our of your co-workers will be, especially their salaries. When we have a payroll, it is sent to all this staff, so you will know what more to gain, or you cannot go and screenshot what Fatu got this month and share it on your socials, or without their permission, or whatever you do. Make sure, okay, your co-workers information, you do not use it against them or share it without their photos. Number four is a very important note, okay? Photos, videos, and media that you are part of while working for the company may be distributed by the company both during and after your employment. Remember, okay, while you are with the company, okay, your photos that involves you, okay, may be shared while you are working and while you are away. Sometimes some people, they will come after like working for the company, maybe they resign or they've been sacked, and we post pictures that they are, and they tell us to bring the picture down just because of they are there. That is we do not do that, okay? Once we have photos of you while you are working for the company, those photos belong to Jollof Event, and we will distribute it anytime we want, whether you are working for the company, whether you are not working for the company, okay? Just know that very well, okay? This is a handbook, and you are expected to read this handbook before even accepting employment here at Jollof Events, okay? And in here, we make it categorically clear that, okay, any photo that you are part of while working for the company belongs to the company, and we can share it anytime, whether you are still working for the company or not, okay? Number five, deliberately violating our confidentiality policy may lead to legal or disciplinary action as well as termination of employment. All right. Harassment. Harassment is a broad term and may comprise seemingly harmless actions. It includes bullying, intimidation, direct insults, malicious gossip, and victimization. Harassment cases will be seriously investigated. Anyone found guilty of harassment will face disciplinary action, including termination of employment. Okay, so what is harassment? Harassment can be anything else, by mocking people, bullying people, shouting at people, anything can be harassment, victimization, all these things, gossip, malicious gossip, directly insulting someone, sexual harassment, all these things can be harassment, mocking people, sometimes you might think that you are like playing with somebody, but that person doesn't like the way perhaps they were treated. So it's very important to know that, okay? If you are being harassed, whether by a colleague, manager, contractor, you should report the offender to the management as soon as possible, okay? So it's as soon as possible you should report that person, just like mentioned in the employee complaint form, right? Sexual harassment in all forms is illegal. If an employee is found guilty of sexual harassment, they will be terminated. Sexual harassment involves like physically harassing someone, or making like advances on them. Like sometimes you want to chase somebody by force. If this person says, it's like usual. You don't say that you are not going to. If you like somebody at Jollof event, just go and tell them. All right. If someone likes me, tell me. But but if somebody says, no, or they don't like you back, you should not be, like forcing them to like you. Love is not by force or any other act of harassment. Okay. So it's very important to know that something similar to harassment is also violence. Okay, violence is in a workplace is a serious form of harassment. This includes like including fighting, breaking stuff, or threatening to like do harm to somebody, or telling somebody, like at school, tell them, so you watch it, if we close school, we are going to fight, whatever. It includes physical and sexual assault, destruction of property, threats to harm a person or property, and verbal or psychological abuse. Violence can include like extreme psychological abuse, or and stuff. If a company finds out that an employee commits an act of violence, it will terminate the employee and may press criminal charges. Okay, violence is not only at the workplace or with your colleagues. Sometimes you will be outside, especially like you can go outside and have issue with people outside. When we know that you are always engaging in violence with people, especially if you are a driver and you are on the road, always having problem with traffic, other drivers on the traffic, having road rage, okay, having violence with customers, there are a lot of violence that goes on. So at Jollof events, we try to avoid violence because violence is not good for anybody. All right. Employees who damage property deliberately will be solely responsible for paying for it. Okay, when you damage Jollof events property, you can be fighting with somebody and damage the property, or you can engage in a fight with even a stranger and like they break our stuff. It is your responsibility. Okay, or don't get yourself into fight. Okay, our workplace is found on mutual respect, and we do not allow anyone to compromise with this foundation. Respect everybody. Okay, so number 6 here. Employees who engage in any form of harassment or violence outside our workplace and while on company duties will be seriously investigated. Anyone known to have caused violence will face discipline action, including termination of employment. All right. So from there, we go on to health and safety. Number 1, our company is committed to creating a hazard-free workplace. We will ensure that we will ensure workplace safety through preventative actions such as emergency management. Okay, we make safety signs throughout the premises and facilities to make sure that make sure that you observe them. Okay, if you have like safety signs, exit, if we tell you don't touch this, don't touch that, there is high tension. Like even our workplace right now, there is high tension cable above, which is very dangerous. So, avoid touching like metal parts, especially when you're upstairs, and a lot of stuff. We try to like create a healthy environment. Okay, we hold employee training sessions on safety standards such as first aids, such as how to use the fire extinguishers. We will do all those kind of stuff. We make sure that employees who work in dangerous places or locations are safe. Okay, certain functions include, like sometimes we might ask a driver to provide their medical appointment. Sometimes we might seek medical certificates. Just to so that we can make our workplace safe for everyone else to work. Okay, we provide protective gear like gloves, uniforms, goggles. We have all that at Jollof events. Okay, we provide protection against fire. Okay, we will get fire extinguishers and make sure that in case of any fire we act immediately. Okay, we also expect you to take safety seriously in order to protect the workplace. Okay, your colleagues and the community. Okay, sometimes when you take safety seriously, you will like when you don't play with fire and others, you will protect the workplace, you will protect your co-workers, you will protect yourself, and you will protect the community. Okay, if you deliberately disregard our guidelines, we may terminate you for your own safety sometimes, and for the safety of the for other people's safety. Okay, we handle health and safety very well. We treat it with great priority. Then you have what? Smoking, drugs, and alcohol. Number one, our company is a smoke-free, drug-free, and alcohol-free workplace. No smoking is allowed at our workplace unless at some designated areas. Okay, drugs, mom, it is not tolerated. No drugs allowed anywhere at the company. No alcohol allowed anywhere at the company. Okay, at the workplace. All right, even if you go outside to work somewhere, don't take alcohol with you. All right, don't take drugs there with you. All right, you can smoke in designated smoking areas, balconies, open air verandas, and outer premises, like gardens and sidewalks. You can smoke there, but not inside our cars, not inside, inside our offices, our toilets. Don't smoke anywhere there. Any other area, including toilets, offices, stores, and vehicles. Don't smoke inside our vehicles. Okay, drivers, know this. Support staff, everyone, do not smoke inside our vehicles. We do not allow that. Okay, if you want to smoke, smoke outside the vehicle and get inside. Okay, we also advise you to avoid smoking near flammable areas when you have things that are flammable, so that they will explode. When don't smoke around those areas. Okay, you must not bring or use or give away or sell any drugs, okay, on company premises, whether you are an employee, contractor. Nobody should sell or bring drugs like Thai or other pills and any other thing. Okay, if you are number six, if you are caught with illegal drugs or shown to have shown that you are under the influence of substances, you will face discipline action, including termination. If you know that, like, sometimes you're acting anyhow, maybe you just from smoking weed, like any other thing, like you will be terminated straight away. We don't tolerate that. Okay. We prohibit employees from consuming alcohol during working hours. Also, during working hours, do not consume alcohol. Okay, you can consume alcohol after working hours, but not during working hours. All right. If you suspect anyone of breaking this policy or any of our workplace policies, okay, we encourage you to anonymously report the person. Okay. Then we move on. Employee theft, stealing from the company. Who are the thieves? In order to protect our assets, okay, hard-earned assets, hard-earned assets, okay, and promote honesty, integrity among our staff, we have established the following employee theft policy. What do we consider stealing at Jollof Events? Employee theft refers to unauthorized use or misappropriation of Jollof Events property by an employee. Okay, let's say you are not authorized to put on the AC, you put on the AC. You are not authorized to use certain things, you use it. Okay, you are not authorized to take certain things, you take them. Okay, or you misappropriate certain. Misappropriation means giving, let's say, for example, we just talk about it in the personal events. Okay, let's say your friend or relative has an event, so you give them like a substantial amount of bonus that is not even reasonable. Okay, or misappropriation can also mean like when two let's say you want to engage two welder men and the other welder man is your friend, so and then you give it to someone just because they are your friend. It's similar to like corruption and other stuff. So that is considered employee theft. Okay, that is point number one. Okay, unauthorized use or misappropriation of an employer's property or whatever, blah blah. Number two, this can include stealing cash. If you steal, that is the most black and white way of stealing money, merchandise, supplies, or equipment. If you are found stealing anything, that is employee theft. Okay. Number three, employee theft can also include fraudulent activities, such as falsifying. If you falsify the attendance form, that means that, let's say you came late and then you check in the on time column. Like, let's say you came in late, but you say that you are not late. So all that stuff, falsifying the cash book. Let's say you are the salesperson or the admin assistant. You are handling our cash book, and the cash book is not balanced. You have shortages, and then you falsify certain things there just so that it can balance, or you do all your own rubber stuff there. It is like employee theft. Okay, or using company resources such as vehicles, supplies, and supply for personal. Let's say you use company vehicles, to take, your relatives somewhere, or you use it to go to visit your boyfriend or girlfriend, or you use our phone credit to call your friends or call your family or call anybody. Like, that is when you are not using our own items, when you are using our items for your personal gain and not for the gain of the company. That means that, like, you are stealing from the company. Okay. Another form of employee theft is time stealing. Okay, if you are stealing time from the company, it means that you are engaging in employee theft. Okay, the company is paying you to work for so number of hours. Like if the company pays you to work from 8 to 4, that means that you need to come by 8 and leave at 4. Okay, anything other than that is stealing from the company. Again, if you come to work like and not doing anything, you are stealing time from the company. Okay, or engaging in your personal stuff. We all have personal stuff. We talk about like personal interest, conflict of interest. We have talked about tardiness in attendance. Okay, so if you are coming late and if you are leaving early, that means that you are stealing from the company. Okay, you cannot steal absence, because for example, if you are absent, we deduct it from your salary. Okay, but another form of stealing, if you are late, we cannot deduct it from your salary. If you leave early, we cannot deduct it from your salary. That means that you are stealing from the company, and stealing time from the company is not tolerated. Okay, remember, coming late, leaving early, or while at work engaging in your own personal stuff, or not doing anything, being tardy, okay, is stealing from the company. Okay, and we do not tolerate that. Okay, at Jollof Events. Jollof Event has a zero tolerance stance on employee theft. We take all allegations of theft seriously and we will investigate them thoroughly. Okay, employees found guilty of theft will face disciplinary action, including termination and legal action. Okay, if you suspect anyone, for instance, if you suspect an instance of employee theft, please report it immediately to the right authorities. All reports will be treated with confidentiality and investigated promptly. Employee theft. Okay, warning: employee theft will result in termination and prosecution. Okay, if you steal money from us, we will not only sack you, we will send you to court. We'll send you to casa, jail. Financial conduct. Okay, financial conduct. How is everybody expected to behave financially for the company? Jollof Event is committed to full and accurate financial disclosure and maintain its books and records in compliance with applicable laws and rules. Okay, and regulation. Okay, we are an open company. We do not hide anything. We do not cut corners. Okay, so we comply with accounting standards. We use the generally accepted accounting standard, GAAP. Okay, so everything else, we make sure we do the right thing always. All right. So any employee can be instructed at any time to make payments or receive money on behalf of the company. Okay, so sometimes you go to an event and the client is giving us money through you. Don't say that I'm not going to accept money because I'm afraid I might lose. No, you remember here, you are responsible to accept that money for us. Everybody can accept money. Okay, unless it is a huge amount of money, let's say 100,000 or something, you might. But if it's like few thousands of dollars, you should be able to take that money, and the company can also give you money to go and buy certain things. So don't say that I'm not going to handle money because of I might lose it. That's why I'm not going to certain. No, that is also not possible. That is also not acceptable. Okay. While you handle Jollof Event money, point number 3, you should handle our funds with utmost care and honesty. Utmost care, honesty, and accountability. All right. You are solely responsible for all cash under your care or custody, and you are liable for any missing amount. Okay. Like if you are holding Jollof Event cash and you lose it, you are going to pay for it. Okay, whether you are a cleaner or whether you are a salesperson, whether you are the admin assistant, whether you are the CEO. For me, if I lose Jollof Event money, I have to pay for it. Okay, that's why you should handle our cash with care. Okay, handle it with care and honesty and accountability. All right. All purchases and payments, no matter how small, must be backed by genuine receipts or relevant source documents from the suppliers. Okay, receipts, invoices. And Jollof Events, no matter what you buy, no matter how small it is, even if it costs $5, you must bring around receipts. Okay, we will not accept any payment. Like if we tell you to go and buy sugar at the shop, okay, if you don't only come with the sugar, come with the receipts. Okay, even if the person says they don't have receipt books, okay, what do? You tell them to write it on a piece of paper, their names, their number, what they told you, and then they sign. Okay, it's very important. We will not accept you to bring any other item without its receipts. Okay, and when you are giving anybody money, write down on a piece of paper how much you are giving. Even if you are giving money to your co-worker, okay, write down on a piece of paper how much you are giving them and give it to them. All right, we will not accept it. We will not accept. We will assume that you did not spend money to buy that sugar because of you did not bring along receipt. Okay, look at this thing. I think I have some stack of receipts here. You see, these are all receipts, okay, of payments that we make. These are just some of the payments that we make. You see, these are all receipts. Okay, sometimes some certain vendors like the trash collectors, they might not have receipt books or others. Okay, we have vouchers for those who do not have receipts. If those who do not have receipts, if we buy from things for people that do not have receipts, we take this and they sign it, okay, and give it back to us. Okay, like when you are going for shopping or certain things, you take this voucher along, so that when somebody tell you we don't have receipt, and in case you don't carry the voucher with you, you can even walk outside. You can find pieces of paper there, thrown outside, and come and ask for anybody for pen and write it down. Remember, let me repeat this point very clearly. Anything that you buy, you must bring along a receipt. Okay, even if it costs 50 bututs, bring along a receipt for that. Receipt means a piece of paper that indicates that you have bought something and the amount and the person who sold it to you. Point number 6 here. Wherever possible and reasonable, you are required to buy from VAT, value added tax register suppliers. At Jollof Events, we pay value added tax to GRA every month. Okay, so every business that makes more than 2 million a year is supposed to register for VAT by force. VAT means you are adding value to something. That means that the customer has to pay VAT. For example, Jollof Events, we pay VAT indirect because we do not charge VAT to our customer. Let's say if something costs here, let's say if something costs $1,000, okay. If let's say our product costs $1,000, okay, we should charge the customer $1,000, and we have to plus there 15% of $1,000 is 150. Okay, 150. You see, so 150, that is equals to how much? That is equals to 1,150. 1,150. All right, this is what the customer will pay. The 150 here is VAT. Okay, we will take this VAT and give it to GRA. It does not belong to us. Okay, and the customer and we will take our $1,000. So this is what we will charge the customer at the end. But here in the Gambia, especially in the event industry, if we start charging people this 150, what will happen is that they will go to our competitors. They will say these people are mad. Okay, so right now at Jollof Events, we don't have choice. What we do is we just charge the customer $1,000. All right, and then at the end of the month, what we do is we just give GRA when they are 150, because GRA, they must get their 150. They must get their 150. So if we give them their 150, okay, we end up with only 850, and that is like cruel. That is cruel. Like, imagine every $1,000 we make, we have to give GRA 150, and we make millions of dollars. That means that we should give, let's say if we make $1 million in a month, that means that we should give GRA $150,000, and we end up with only 850. That is not only from our profit, that is from our revenue. And but what happens is also here, if we, let's say if a customer, let's say if for example, okay, we charge the customer 150 VAT, okay, and then it's equal to 1,150. All right, so imagine before taking this $50 into GRA, imagine we also bought something for 1,150. Let's say we bought like electricity. Let's say electricity, cash power 1,000. Okay, and then the cash power people charge us 150 VAT plus 150 VAT plus 150 VAT. Okay, so we end up paying 150. We also end up paying 1,150. 1,150. Okay, so what will happen us before taking this 150 to GRA, we will take it to now. We will tell GRA that the 150 we are supposed to give you, we have already given it to NAWEC. So we are not going to pay any VAT. So you see what I'm saying here? So that means that if we buy from VAT registered people, that means that the amount we are supposed to give to GRA, we will not give it to them, because we will tell GRA that we have already spent that amount on It's not all things we can deduct. Like if we pay salary, we cannot deduct their VAT because it is not allowable. And if we buy from a supplier who does not have VAT, we cannot deduct there. So we'll end up paying. So at Joy Events, we pay hundreds of thousands of VAT, and buying from VAT registered people, will decrease that significantly. Okay, that's why when you go to buy certain things, ask them if they have VAT. If they don't have VAT, then go to another person who has VAT. Unless the item, is like it's only that person who has it, or services as well, But it's very difficult, This is a very important tax, that we pay a lot of money on, and it is not fair for us. But that's just the deal. So employees who fail to adhere to this policy may face disciplinary action, including termination of employment. Okay, this financial conduct policy, like you don't bring receipts, like you lose our money, like blah blah. You don't know. This is a conduct. Remember, this is a conduct. Okay, it says that you are responsible to handle money. Okay, sometimes you are giving money either to buy or something or to receive it for us. Okay, also note that you should treat the funds well. Okay, they are under your responsibility. You should always bring receipt for any purchase you make. You are responsible to buy from VAT registered suppliers, and also you are going to be terminated if you don't respect this policy.